Hey, welcome back to Grit Gym. Today we're going over 3 different stretches that we've kind of enhanced over the years at Grit Gym. And we're going to go over those here in a bit. Before I go into those though, please make sure that you are seeing a qualified professional. Make sure that these work for you, because it's way more important to know what not to stretch than to know what to stretch. Because if you stretch the wrong thing, you're either making an injury worse or you're causing an injury. But the first one, we're not going to use the roller for this, but let's say that you've already gone through a comprehensive roll, you've gotten that out of the way. The first one that we're going to go through is you're going to put your, I think people figure this out a little bit better when, showing a lot of leg there. I think that people figure this one out a little bit better when they have a band attached to it or when they throw a roller on their low back. But almost everybody that I assess has a really tight hip. All right, so what we're going to do, we're just going to get one knee down like we're in push-up position. We're going to have that knee on the floor. Everything else is just like a push-up position. What I like about this one is the band is kind of pulling us over into that position where we want to get that stretch back here, and then we're pushing back away from it. So it's more of a movement pattern thing, kind of pulling us into kind of torquing on that hip just a little bit. We don't even need to necessarily go into the stretch to get it, but you would just get that for like, let's say 6. Pulling yourself over, and I like it that you kind of have to press back and away with that hip, making that adduction kind of happen with that glute. So the other one that I'm going to show is we would just turn sideways, and we would kick this leg, showing a lot of leg today, kick this leg out straight. So we're going to get some distance between that heel and this toe, and I like it that the band kind of pulls us back into that position, because this is what I notice that people don't do well. They don't hinge well, and they don't squat well. So just like squatting. This is basically a squat, only I'm not vertical, I'm horizontal. So I'm sitting back in that hip, and that band is kind of pulling me back into a position. Now, some people are a little bit more stiff up in the front. Hey, some people are a little bit more stiff up in the front hip, in the front of the adductor, and some people are a little bit more stiff in the back of the adductor. But the adductor is huge, and I think it's very much underappreciated because it's such a big part of your thigh, but the hamstring and the quad kind of take the center stage for it for some reason. But the adductor is really just as large as your quad. If you look at it from a cross-sectional area where you're just looking straight down at like a slice of it, the adductor complex is huge. And it tends to really lay down a lot of dense fibrotic tissue that is really hard to deal with, and it stiffens up on people quite a bit. And it really relays a lot of the stability in our hip anyway. So it's a very important complex, and we have to respect what's going on there. Now the other one that I'm going to show with the band, I kind of wanted to highlight the band today, is, I don't really know what we've called this one a few different things. I try to describe the exercises in a way that people can remember, so it just describes the exercise. So we're calling this a quadruped internal rotation for now, or a straight jacket. So I'm going to take my hand, I'm going to put it back behind my low back. What I like about this one is we're pinning that shoulder blade back. So usually you would have this and you rotate under and then up to the ceiling, and then under and up to the ceiling in the hopes of getting some thoracic rotation with internal rotation at the shoulder. What I don't like about that is I can leave my shoulder hanging out to dry. What I do like about the band is that I can get up in position and I can pin that shoulder blade back. In physical therapy, they call it like a seat belt. I can pin that shoulder blade back, put myself in a position, and it kind of pulls me out, and I roll under. And it kind of pulls me out, and then I roll under. I really like that one for pulling me into internal rotation at the shoulder without letting me compromise and kind of get that kind of anterior slide in the shoulder. Now those are three stretches that we've been kind of working on out here that I really enjoy them. I think that they're good stretches from the standpoint of keep in mind, I should have said this before, but you don't want to crank on this. You want to just get a light stretch, move out, light stretch, move out, light stretch, move out. But those are 3 things that we're using out here, and I really like the band. I know that Kelly Starrett uses it more as like a distraction to the muscle so that you can go and you can do some different things. I like the band to pull myself in the direction that I want to go. So, and same thing with clients. So pull that hip to kind of do what we want it to do so we get that patterning down. I think the motor control is far superior in the stretching game. Like if you really want a lot of mobility, motor control is going to be superior to actual flexibility. Flexibility is not going to really do much for you, but Motor control can, because it's much more about your body trusting you than it is about your body's ability to go to those distances, because your body won't let you do it. It's a nervous system thing that stops you from, impedes you from doing that thing. So those are 3 stretches that we use those quite a bit out here at Grit Gym. Sitting into that hip, I really like that twerking into that hip to make that hip rotate the way that we want. I really like the hinge in the squat of the split stance adductor with that band pulling us into a position and giving us that feedback, that immediate feedback without a coach having to tell people what to do. And I really like that internal rotation because it's pinned the shoulder blade back where we want it to stay so it doesn't compromise and further us into injury. But remember, with stretching, do not make this a staple. It's something that is important, but it's not just like all stretching is gonna help everything. We have to get down to the nitty-gritty details of what is going to help you specifically, because you could be pushing yourself further into an injury. You don't want to do that. It's much more important to know what not to stretch than to know what to stretch. But short one today. I know. Hope you guys are mad at me for that, but short and sweet. I got stuff to do. So hope you guys enjoyed. I would highly encourage going to a professional to get assessed so you know what stretches are best for you and what stretches are not best for you. But anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Please like, comment, share. This is out to everybody that you know and that could benefit from it. I appreciate you being here. We'll see you soon.